Hello everybody and welcome to my review for the film Miss India America. So this film follows Lily, a driven high school graduate who likes to be good at everything and through a series of events ends up becoming a participant and a competitor in the Miss India America pageant. This movie was atrociously horrible. I mean, it couldn't even match the level of quality of a TV movie. There was nothing in this movie, literally. All the characters, one-dimensional caricatures. They had like their one thing, and the filmmaker just took that throughout the whole movie. I mean, it's like someone took a piece of paper and said, this character will be smart, this character will be dumb, this character won't like this person, this character won't like that thing, and that's all that defines their character. There was nothing. There was nothing for these characters. Literally, they weren't even characters. They didn't feel like real people at all. I mean, there was absolutely nothing. That's why I kind of compared it to that, like a TV movie, but it was even less than that. For these characters, there's nothing. These actors, I don't even know what they're working off of, because the script is so shallow that they had nothing to offer to their characters. That's how shallow each character was. And this movie was so boring, and then they tried to put in more subplots into the film that were even more boring than the original plot. And I think the reason this movie was so boring was because its screenplay and script were so lazy and weak. Because each character in this film, each and every character, their goals and intentions were so one note, so one dimensional. The kind of thing that you would almost expect from a Disney Channel original movie. The characters felt more like caricatures or stereotypes sometimes, rather than real, fully formed people, or even movie characters. They felt like literal caricatures or stereotypes. They didn't even feel like movie characters, let alone real people. So as an audience member, you can't relate to what's happening on screen because you don't form a connection with these characters whatsoever. And I think that this movie, the crux of this movie, is built on forming a connection with these characters, and you never form that connection. On top of that, the screenplay, the plot of this movie, there's moments in the plot or in this movie where something happens and then it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. And you're just kind of left hanging in midair, like, what was with that sequence? So overall, guys, this movie was very written in a very lazy and weak way. I mean, I feel like this movie could have been better, and I hate to rip on this movie also because I'm such a big fan of Tiya Sircar, who plays Lily in this film, and I'm also like a big proponent for having more Indian American centered films, because I feel like that's an important voice that needs to be heard in Hollywood. But Miss India America just does not make the cut. It's a very lazily written, basically, film, because the characters are so one note, the plot is so boring, and the movie can't seem to figure out what it wants to do. Sometimes it's trying to be a comedy and basically not being very good of a comedy either, because all of the dialogues and situations in this movie that are supposed to be funny really are not funny. It's pretty bad how bad the comedy is. And as for the drama in this film, it comes off as very sappy and very cheesy, rather than really engaging drama, if it can even be called drama, or even if it's supposed to act as a teenager high school kind of coming of age film. It still doesn't work in that vein because the characters. I think it ultimately comes down to the characters for this film. There's nothing in terms of relatability because they're caricatures. They don't feel even remotely real. I think the concept of this movie was interesting or intriguing, or they could have done something with it. But I feel like the director couldn't figure out what he wanted to do with this movie, and also in addition to that had characters that were too simple or too one note, as I've said before. And when he tried to implement humor, or when the filmmakers tried to implement the humor into the film, it just didn't work in their favor. So, guys, Miss India America gets an F from me, and I hate to give films Fs, but I feel like this movie could have been made better if they'd worked on the script a little bit more, and tightened that script, and made that screenplay more interesting, and especially made the characters more interesting, because I feel like the actors in this film actually are quite good, and the material didn't serve them well in this case, especially Tiya Sircar. I've seen her do good stuff before. So, for me, yeah, Miss India America gets an F, guys. I really wish that this movie had been better, but it really wasn't. And I guess that's because of the screenplay and the script. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do all those great things. I'll have more reviews out for you guys very, very soon. And I'll see you guys next time.